Good evening, students. Welcome to my channel Smart Codings by Soikat Banerjee. My channel includes various concepts on Java programming, various notes and complete solutions of questions for beginners and ICC students. So let's move on to the next slide. So today's topic include concepts of variables in Java and their types of variables along with their examples. So let's start. So concepts on variables and their types. So basically first start with a variable. As we can see that in the screen, that variables are the named memory locations. So whenever we write a code, we need a variables to store values, right? To store value, we need some variables. Basically, it is known as a container to keep a value. So technically, we can say that variables are the named memory locations in a programming language, which is used to store values. For example, whenever we need to write a program, we need a variable to store or assign values. First step we'll do is variable declarations. As you can see that int a is what kind of variable? Integer type. Okay, after declaring a variable, we need to store some values in that. That process of storing values to a variable is called assignment. A equal to 10. That means 10 is being assigned to a, which is of integer type. Whenever we process this statement or in the JVM, a will be allocated, memory space will be allocated having a name called a, and it has a value called 10. Okay, whenever this line is processed, JVM will allocate some space in the computer memory having a name called a, suppose, and it has a value 10. This is what is variable and how it internally works inside a memory or a JVM. So this is clear. So let's proceed to the next video slide. Now, as the name is variable, it means to vary. Variable means vary. That means the value of a variable will not remain fixed always. It may change. For example, suppose we are declaring a variable int a equal to 10. 10 may not be fixed always. It may change or it will change. Suppose we are assigning, we are writing this statement a equal to a plus 20. Meaning what? Meaning that 10, we are adding 20 to the value called 10. That is, the variable will have a new value, that is 30. So as the name variable, it means to vary. That means the value of a variable will not remain fixed. It may change or it will change. I've shown the example over here. Once the value is 30 over here, it will overlap with a new value here, that is 30. Clear? So this is what is the variable variable examples, how it is being declared, what is a variable, and why it is a name called variable, because the value remains not fixed always. It may change or it will change. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Now, types of variables. There are basically three types of variables in Java. First is local variable, second one is instance variable, and third one is static variables. Now, each of these variables we will see their definitions along with their examples in the next slide. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. See, definition of variables. First is local variable. Variables that are declared inside a method body are called local variables. Meaning, whenever we declare a method inside a class, suppose in a class A, there is a method called void add. Inside this method, I have declared two variables. You can see over here, students. Int c equal to suppose 30 and d. Two variables we have declared. Inside a method block, from this bracket to this bracket, this is a method block. Inside this method block, whatever variables are declared are called local variables. So variable declared inside a method body are called local variables. They belong to this method scope. From here, the first bracket, from the starting bracket of the starting bracket of the method, and to the last bracket, ending bracket of the method. This is the method scope of add method, we can say. So the basically what we have learned, that local variables are the variables which are declared inside a method body. Any variables that are declared inside a method body are called local variables. Now next is instance variable. Variable declared inside a class but outside a method body are called instance variable. For example, class A, inside a method, inside a class we have declared a variable called A, okay, but as you can see that it is inside a class but outside a method body. So this is a method body over here. Outside this method but inside a class, if any variable is declared, then it is called an instance variable. Instance variable belongs to an object. Instance variable belongs to an object. So this is what is instance variable. Instance, the word instance means object. So instance variable belongs to an object. So any variable if we declare inside a class but outside a method, it is called instance variable. So the class scope ends here. The last bracket of the class is here, the ending bracket. So the scope of this variable is from the starting bracket of the class till the ending bracket of the class. Clear? So instance variables, if the question comes in the exam, it is a variable that is declared outside a method body, as you can see here, outside a method body, but inside a class. Outside a method body but inside a class, it's called instance variable. So let's move on to the next one. Static variables. Static variables are the variables which are inside a class but outside a method, but declared with a static keyword. It should be preceded with a static keyword. Like see, it is outside a method, this a variable but inside a class, but it is with a static keyword. A static keyword is also known as static variables are also known as class level variables, because static variables belongs to a class. So static variable belongs to a class. So the detailed concept of static variables we will see in the next video. So in this tutorial or in this video, we have learned today the variable types. What is a variable? Why the name is called variables? And their types along with their examples. The definitions, the types along with their examples. So let us recapitulate once again. Types of variables: local variables, instance variables, and static variables. So any variable declared inside a method body are called local variables. Keep this in mind, students. Okay, so inside add method we have two variables, C and D. So these are local variables. They are local to this method scope. They are local to the method scope. Next one is instance variable. Instance variable belongs to the object. Okay, they are declared inside a class but outside a method. Okay. And the last one is static variables. They belong to the object. They belong to the class. That's why they are called class level variables also. So static variables are declared inside a class but outside a method with a static keyword. They belong to the class, not to an object. Okay, so deep concept and detailed concept we will see in the next video. So if this video is useful to you, students, if you find this video to be useful for you, then please like this video, share this video, subscribe and click on the bell icon to get new videos of these typical concepts of Java programming. Thank you. Take care.